So the bicameral structure, we said bicameral, bi is two, so bi meaning two houses, okay? So to define this concept, this refers to a structure of parliament that consists of two houses of parliament, the lower house and the upper house. So we said that this is technically enshrined in the constitution only at federal level. This means that there is one state, Queensland, that does not follow the bicameral structure and just has one house. But all of our other state and Commonwealth parliaments do abide by the bicameral structure. So it is actually really easy to remember because under Section 1, the very first section of the Australian Constitution, it is outlined that there must be two houses within Commonwealth Parliament. We can see that section here. Legislative power. The legislative power of the Commonwealth shall be vested in a federal parliament which shall consist of the Queen, a Senate, and a House of Representatives, and which is hereinafter called the Parliament of the Commonwealth. Again, so that means immediately we know the first strength, because it's in the Constitution, this right cannot be taken away unless by a successful referendum. Okay, so that's our first strength. Additionally, this ensures that each bill that is passed is scrutinized, so critiqued and debated by two houses. And this means that government cannot just pass through bills that they want, laws that they want, without the approval of the upper house as well, which we said the composition is different. They actually represent the interests of the states. So because there is a different composition, that bill will still only truly come to pass if it is a good bill and it is appealing to other parties as well due to that different structure. Another strength is that it allows us to identify errors and omissions in bills. So because it needs to go through two houses, other representatives of other parties generally may do something like they might say to the party that initiated the bill, which is the government, they might say that they will only give their approval or yes vote to that bill in return for some kind of amendments or changes to that bill. That might be because there is some kind of error or omission, something missing from that proposed law, or it might be because they want the law to represent their interests a little bit as well. And that's why they would like it to be changed. So obviously, still, if this is done, it just helps to ensure that the bills, the laws that are initiated are really strong, really foolproof. They're going to be effective, likely, and there's nothing missing or errors within those laws. Now, interestingly, though, with amendments, or even if a bill, fails to pass, so if it gets more than 50% of no votes, it can be initiated a second time, but it will have to go through the same process all over again, which is really time consuming. It will have to go through both houses all over again, and all of the members of parliament will have to vote on it. So it is a time consuming process. And that includes if, any amendment or change is made to that bill before it's reached the final stage. Now, the limitations of the bicameral structure. So obviously the structure is not entrenched for Victorian or other state parliaments. We said Queensland does not follow the bicameral structure, for example, and they just have a single house. Another problem is that the lower house is controlled by government, so the majority of seats are held by one party, and therefore laws will generally only be passed through the lower house if they are initiated by the government party or they're supported by the government party. So this is really problematic because that basically means any laws that are not those initiated by the government or not approved by the government, so initiated by another party, but they're still beneficial laws, they likely won't get approved through the lower house and will fail because we said bills need to pass through both houses. Another limitation is if we have a rubber stamp Senate. So this refers to the structure. We said generally the Senate or the upper house has a different composition from the lower house. But it may occur where the government party in the lower house with the majority of seats has the majority of seats in the Senate or the upper house as well. And this is the circumstances under which the upper house is referred to as a rubber stamp. Um, that name is really telling. So that means just think about the composition. If both houses, the majority of seats are held by the same party, that means they can pass any laws they would like. And only and any law that they initiate, the government party will pass through unavoidably because of the composition, because of them having the majority of seats. So that can lead to obviously corruption and making laws that are not representative of any other groups in society or even harmful to other groups in society.